for everything from video games, comic books, films, and beyond. You're listening to the Geek Guy Podcast with your host, Albert Albanese, here on the Slam Sessions Podcast Network. What's up, everyone, and welcome to another edition of the Geek Guy Podcast right here on the Slam Sessions Podcast Network. Of course, if you want to follow us, you can go on Twitter at the Slam Sessions or on Facebook now. It's facebook.com/the Slam Sessions Podcast Network. Now, of course, this week, I got a very special guest in studio with me. Back for a second time around. It's Tom Melendez. Say hi to everybody, Tom.
Cool. Hey, guys.
So I'm really happy you came back for a round two. It's always good to have, kind of like a co-pilot. So how do you feel being back here?
It's fun. Of course, why not? I got to help out, and plus, it's just awesome to do.
I'm glad, you have a good time and everything like that. This week is really cool because actually you're going to, kind of the crux of one of the parts of the show, we're going to start off, we're going to talk about the Spiderman Homecoming trailer. We're going to talk about the Justice League trailer that just dropped. And Tom went to go see Ghost in the Shell. So he's going to give us a review of the film. And you also have extensive knowledge on the anime also, which kind of,
Yeah, from what I can remember. I've seen it some time ago,
But hey, look, it's more knowledge than I have on either of those subjects. And then instead of a comic of the week this week, we're actually going to get into a discussion about comics that aren't DC or Marvel, which is kind of a cool concept. Boom.
Yeah, I love reading something that's a little different, outside of the whole, the popular route. So it's going to be good to talk about that.
Yeah, so now we get to talk, shine a little bit of a light on something a little bit different.
Yeah. I think it's going to be an interesting show.
Yeah, I think it's going to be fun.
So I guess, you know what? It's not really about video, so it's more the podcast feel. So we're going to just cut this out. And if you want to hear the rest of the conversation, you just have to tune in, right?
Yeah, exactly. So for everybody who has no clue what we're talking about, if you have just listening to the show, went live on Facebook. So
yeah,
that's kind of why that just happened there.
Yeah, you got to use your imagination at that point. Sorry.
Yeah, it's all good.
Unless you've seen you both. But all right.
That's cool.
Facebook.
So let's dig into it. I want to start off with talking about the trailers. We talked about the we both watched the two big trailers that just dropped. It's the Justice League trailer and the Spider-Man Homecoming trailer. I guess we'll start off with the Justice League trailer. Initial thoughts. What did you think?
You know what? It was pretty exciting to see. I mean, everyone's finally coming together, and you're starting to see like a little more of Cyborg. He was the most important to me because, he's a cyborg, so he's gonna always have to be like, computer animated and whatnot. Sure, he'll have a suit and everything. They do the same thing with Iron Man, but like a lot of moving parts. You know, so. It's really interesting to see him so far. So I was pretty excited about that. Plus Aquaman, he's pretty badass looking, like all the chicks love it. So why not?
Apparently Jason Momoa is like the sexiest man on earth. Scrolling through my Facebook feed, that's kind of the consensus I've gotten from all the women.
Yeah, a lot of chicks approve.
Yeah. So, initially for me, I have to say the biggest thing that I got out of this trailer was that. I think all of us have had problems with DC films. I think that, this is a conversation that me and you are actually going to have on a future episode, how Marvel is lacking in the animated universe when it comes to their animated movies, but DC kills it when they do their animated movies. But it's exactly the opposite when it comes to the live actions. But this trailer, man, it kind of blew me away.
Yeah, you know what? It's a good-looking trailer. You didn't see too much that gave anything away, but you saw enough to draw in the interest again, for the action and everything. I'm really excited to see how well Batman plays with all the Justice League teammates. It's a shame we don't get to see Manhunter and all that. But hey.
Well, there's 3 huge cogs missing from that team.
Yeah.
I'm pretty positive that Superman's going to show up in the third act.
Yeah. There's a lot of rumor about the whole black outfit, the return of Superman kind of thing.
Which would be so sick.
Yeah, the whole long hair thing. When did that come out in the comics? He came back when he was killed by Doomsday.
After Doomsday, yeah.
Yeah. Didn't he come back with electricity powers or something like that? I forget. They change around so many times.
I know. I know.
But moving on, yeah, it looks like he's gonna come back. He's gonna represent the black outfit and really go, you know, he's gonna really go in on
Yeah.
showing us some action there. Hopefully.
And the good thing is that we will get to see Superman. The problem that I'm gonna have mostly out of everything is that we are missing two integral members of the Justice League.
Yeah.
But for some reason, Henry Cavill keeps hinting at the Green Lantern being like around in like his Instagram and stuff like that. But it doesn't look like he's gonna. They have him planned, and Martian Manhunter too.
Yeah, he's really cool. I didn't think we were gonna see him in the movies. I mean, it's just it's a shame. He's just got such unique abilities.
Have you seen him on Supergirl?
No, I actually haven't yet. I've seen pictures of him. Doesn't look terrible. It looks pretty good.
Yeah, no, I think that they're doing a pretty decent job with him on there. Yeah. But no, I completely agree. I think this would have been. I mean, look, it's good because look, the Avengers team that we have right now is going to change sooner or later.
Oh yeah.
And we've gotten we didn't have Ant-Man in the beginning in the first Avengers film, or actually in the first two Avengers films we didn't have Ant-Man. True. So I mean, I guess we can't ask for everything all at once. I think they're doing a good job, and agreeing with you. Man, does Aquaman not look like the biggest badass in that trailer? He steals the whole trailer.
Yeah, he's always started out as kind of like a joke, and over time, like they tried so hard to make him cooler. I remember in Justice League, the animated show, they have him like sacrifice his hand by cutting it off just to save his son, who's gonna fall into a lava pit or something like that, and now he's got a hook for a hand, and it's pretty. They try and make him real badass over and over again, and in the comics, he's really violent from time to time.
And like a lot of people don't realize, but how his power rivals Superman at times. His physical power does rival, so even on land.
Yeah, when he's using the, I guess, I forget what it's called, the trident.
Yeah, the trident.
Yeah. So when he uses that, Superman definitely does. He is affected by that because it's magic based, of course.
Right.
I mean, physically, yeah, he's up there in strength, but we all know Superman.
Obviously, Superman is. I mean, look, this is a conversation we can have like at another time. I'm not a big Superman fan because I feel like Superman is the most overpowered superhero.
So powerful.
He's ridiculous. Like I don't know how like I read comics and I'm like, how does this guy get hurt? Like there's just too much.
Yeah, I know. That's why I love him. The reason why you hate him is the reason why I love
you know
him.
what? And a lot of people, feel the same way. I just, for me, I was always a Batman fan just because he is the exact opposite. The guy is so vulnerable, but he's got tech to back him up.
He is like the ultimate form of discipline.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So sticking with the trailer, we talked about, Aquaman a bit. Ezra Miller looks like he's got a different take on Barry Allen from the TV shows.
Yeah.
And
he's more armored.
Yeah, well, the suit's cool. The suit is really cool.
It looked like a little clunky at first, but I've kind of grown to like it.
Yeah.
The way he moves also in the movie, it's very important to me that it's different from what we've seen with Quicksilver already in both Quicksilver's as, yeah. So.
And the Flash TV show as well.
Yeah.
And
definitely.
That's a big thing. Another person we forgot to mention, Justice League characters, Arrow. The Green Arrow isn't a part of the team either, and a very big portion of the a fan base was really mad that Ezra Miller got the film job over Grant Gustin, who plays the kid who plays Barry Allen on TV. And a lot of people were saying that Stephen Amell should be the only guy who plays Green Arrow, and there have been a lot of rumors that Matt Damon might actually play Green Arrow, reunite with Ben Affleck, if Ben Affleck even stays on after this, with all the rumors going on with Batman.
Yeah, it's pretty messy from what I hear.
But I think they made a good choice. In my opinion, the way I look at the TV series universe and the movie universe is that this is like Earth 1 and Earth 2.
Yeah.
So there's
very
there's going to be
convenient with DC to do that also.
Right.
You could just rationalize it that way, definitely.
Right. And and they introduced that in the TV show. In Flash they talk about Earth 1 and Earth 2 and Earth 3 and all that other stuff. So it's not too hard to just, kind of put it into your head and say, "Hey, you know what? The TV universe is maybe on Earth 1, but the movie universe might be Earth 52."
True. Yeah, and you know what? I was saying that when Suicide Squad dropped, when they showed a glimpse of Batman, I was really hoping for a different guy to be that Batman. Because then it would play along with, you don't have to focus so much on continuity. Because that's what Marvel's doing. That way DC doesn't have to focus on continuity, and then they can just throw a film out there and even have like parallel dimensions open up, and that could be a plot. And,
Yeah.
Maybe even one of the movies you show us a trailer, and then at the very end of the trailer, you show a moment where there are like two Batmans kicking ass, or a whole group of like thugs. I mean, who wouldn't want to run and see that movie?
And how cool would it be if they really, maybe DC isn't doing too well, but maybe their TV shows are doing really well, and they do a movie where for maybe 20 minutes out of the movie they recruit at the very end the Earth 2 or the Earth 1 versions of Barry Allen and Oliver Queen, and
nice.
they bring like those teams in, because here's the thing. One of the things that a lot of people are complaining about is that Marvel started off being like this big giant universe where we knew that, okay, within this bubble of the Marvel films, we also had this bubble of the Marvel TV universe, and Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. kind of fit in really well. It started off after the Chitauri invasion. They had the cutscene in the middle of one of the episodes was a cutscene from what's it called? I'm sorry, I'm drawing a blank. Captain America's the second movie.
I'm trying to think. What do you mean?
The second Captain America movie, Winter Soldier.
Oh, Winter Soldier. Yeah.
There was like a cutscene in the middle of the episode with the Nick Fury, the Nick Fury scene where he's in the car and the armored car gets blown up. Mm-hmm. That was literally inside one of the episodes. Like they really.
Oh wow! Yeah, that's right. I remember that now. Okay.
They really built their universe around them being so together, and now they've kind of fallen away from that.
Really?
And,
see, I fell off of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
I mean,
I gotta get back on board.
It actually the new episode debuts tomorrow, which is another big rumor is that they actually might show the Thor trailer during that. So that's huge. But in that universe, Marvel was always really good at piecing everything together, and they've kind of fallen away from that, especially the Netflix series. Nobody knows where they fall in. They're street level heroes. Do the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. people know about them? Do they not? Does all the other guys, all the bigger guys, the Avengers, do they know about these street level heroes? What does this mean for something like? I mean, we know about Infinity Gauntlet. The both of us read the Infinity Gauntlet.
Yeah.
We both read Infinity War, so we know where that how important some of these characters are in that series.
Yeah,
how important some of the characters they don't have rights to are to those series. So, it's going to be interesting to see what they do with that. But, I mean, DC doesn't have to do that. They have different Earths.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
they can space things out, and they can make things different. And I think that's their advantage. I think you're right. What if, it'd be great. What if 20 minutes in the middle of a film, Oliver Queen and Barry Allen from the TV show are in there kicking the crap out of somebody, just giving them a hand, and tips their cap, and they walk back after 20 minutes. A nice little cameo for them.
Yeah, true. Or like a final battle cameo, like, they come in as reinforcements or something like that.
Even if it's just like on the outside to pick off strays, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just a quick little thing just to keep them, just to give a nod that there's another part of your stuff out there, And we know about how Gotham is kind of like the beginning story of Batman, so it'd kind of be cool if maybe they introduce something. I mean, it's gonna be hard because the timeline would be really screwy.
Yeah, it's true.
But
he could have. I mean, hey, you never know with the whole parallel universe thing. Again, you can have like someone who is kind of like jumping through dimensions
and accidentally goes back in time or goes forward in time. We've seen it on Flash where Barry Allen's gone forward and backwards in time when he's been trying to jump to different Earths and stuff like that.
Yeah, he could actually bump into young Bruce,
Absolutely. So, I mean, it'd be cool, involve Supergirl, involve Legends of Tomorrow into their films. But, I mean, of course, this is what happens when you start talking about this stuff. You get sidetracked.
Yeah,
Getting back to the trailer, Barry Allen, he's funny. He's quick-witted.
Yeah.
The small amount that we see him, he is Barry Allen.
Yeah.
He's, the Flash is always...
Good fit.
Yeah, because the Flash has always been the Marvel Spider-Man. The Joker,
much.
the jokester kind of, character.
Yeah. Youthful at heart,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true. But speaking of Spider-Man, that Homecoming trailer, man.
I mean, if we want to get into that, I mean, real quick, we
go
just to put a pin in the Justice League discussion.
Yeah.
We've seen Wonder Woman on the big screen. We've seen Batman on the big screen.
Yep.
But even still, both of them look again eternally badass in this trailer.
I can't wait for Wonder Woman the movie. Also, I mean,
oh my God, it looks amazing.
She looks like she could hold her own. I just don't want her to fight like like your typical non-superpowered female superhero. Like Black Widow. I'm not going to hate on Black Widow. Like, she's great. I love her moves and everything like that. Like her ghetto Kama Sutra or whatever you call it. It's great. I think it's amazing. And she does it well. But Wonder Woman, she's a powerhouse, Like,
yeah.
I want to see more of her, like, just, swing a nice right hook to a couple of people,
Well, I mean, that's the difference. You have Wonder Woman who is one of the most powerful characters in the DC universe, and Scarlet Witch, who is one of the most powerful characters in the Marvel universe. And Scarlet Witch hasn't realized her powers yet, so we know that maybe that's why they haven't, really utilized her the right way. But these are characters that should be elevated and being looked at as some of the more powerful characters. And in that Justice League trailer, I think we kind of see that Wonder Woman is kind of like, if Batman's 1A, she's 1B.
Yeah.
Yeah, you always know that no matter what, even in an ensemble cast, there's a main character, and you saw it. I mean, in Civil War, it was Iron Man versus Captain America. Yeah, they had their teams, and they had other guys who were supporting, and they had their roles, but it was Iron Man versus Captain America.
Yep.
And in the Justice League, it's going to be Batman and Wonder Woman, are kind of 1A and 1B, putting this team together. They have their history in BVS.
Yeah.
I don't know if Affleck makes a cameo in the Wonder Woman movie. That'd be interesting to see.
Yeah, I mean, again, with timelines, I think it'll be difficult that way. It depends on how far they take the storyline. Because I'm pretty sure it takes place in the past, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
She's like over 100 years old or
right,
something like that.
Right. I mean, but I'm saying maybe like a cameo in like, a post-credit appearance where we fast forward through time and then we see,
I want to know how old she is now.
She's
you can't ask a woman her age.
Yeah.
So what are we gonna do?
So we'll never know.
Hopefully, it's on Wikipedia.
Well, then how would they know? Because they would have to ask for her age.
Oh man.
In a conundrum.
Yeah, I guess we're gonna have to use her lasso against her.
That's a good idea. If you can wrestle it away from her, be my guest. Sure you wouldn't mind trying.
She's like a galactic bear. No, no, it's not happening.
Can we actually? This is something I wanted to get into, and here's two guys talking about this, and I think that maybe shouldn't be two guys talking about this. It's gonna come off kind of a little messed up. A lot of people complained about Gal Gadot as being Wonder Woman.
Why? Because
her body type. Because her body type wasn't exactly the same as, the Wonder Woman in the
cartoon.
Yeah.
Listen, guys, you can draw her real quick, but you can't just grab a real human being and expect her to fit the role completely. She's got to be able to act. That's the top priority.
Yes, sir.
It's why her title is an actress. Like if you want to go to a doctor, you're gonna have to go to a doctor. You can't just go to somebody who
dresses like a doctor.
Yeah, exactly. Or looks like they could be a doctor.
Right.
She's an actress. And I think she did very well. She obviously had to have done some workout regimen. You just don't look like that
Absolutely.
every day. Like, if your complaint is, look, she should have ate like some brown rice, broccoli, and grilled chicken for 3 months and get some giant quads. Okay, yeah. Great for the role, but what about the rest of her life? Does she want to look like that? Like, personally? Like, maybe not.
Well, here's the thing. I think that, first of all...
I mean, it'd be nice,
Well, look.
Had to slip that in, sorry.
Jesus. Here's the thing. Gal Gadot, maybe one of the most beautiful women I've ever seen in my life.
She's like an Amazon.
She's beautiful. So, I mean...
Almost like she belongs on the island that we can't reach.
Exactly my point. I mean, this is the thing. She legitimately looks like, if you went and you looked at every woman in the world and you said, pick out like five of these women that look like Wonder Woman, she's gonna be in just about everybody's choice. She's got that facial structure.
Yep.
Okay, so maybe you know what?
The hair.
She's got the hair. You know what? I'm sorry. I guess
this
is one of those things that a lot of people are pissed off about. Yeah, you know what? She doesn't have like triple D boobs. Because that's a lot of things
Yeah.
that people are like, oh, she's not voluptuous. No, she doesn't need to be.
Yeah.
She looks like a badass. Her everybody's like, oh, her arms aren't as big. She's supposed to be an Amazon. She's supposed to be taller.
She's like,
She is in better shape than every single one of you people who are probably sitting there criticizing.
she's better shape than me.
She's in better shape than the both of us combined.
And I'm in pretty good shape.
Exactly.
I'm like a rhombus. But,
Tom the rhombus. Tombus the rhombus.
He's right though. Every time I look at her, I wonder, and then I realize she's a woman, and it makes sense. Like she's perfect for the part. Leave her
Oh
alone.
my god, that's fantastic! It's the best thing I've ever heard. Well, now that two guys have put that to rest.
Yep.
Final thoughts on the Justice League trailer. What do you think?
I'm gonna see the movie. I was gonna see it regardless. The question is it good enough to own on DVD? Can I have popcorn and sit in my living room and not have to explain every single detail to my mother because she's just not following the movie? Is it gonna be a good enough movie to own on DVD? I don't know, but am I gonna see it in theaters? Yeah, I am, and so are you.
Yeah, I mean,
Admit it.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%.
Submit.
I have no reservations. I'll be honest. This is something that I may have mentioned on this podcast once or twice before. I did not see BVS in theaters. The reason I didn't see BVS in theaters was specifically due to the fact that right after BVS hit, I actually wound up finding out that they were going to do the extended cut. And that was the way that they wanted the film to be looked at. They wanted to see the extended. The extended cut was what was supposed to be done. It was chopped for time constraints.
Yeah, I still haven't seen it. I heard it really, really seals the deal.
It's phenomenal.
It really is. Did you see it?
I own it.
Oh, you do?
I do.
How much
And
did you pay? Did you get the red box?
I got it for Christmas.
Is it the red box like Doom?
No, it's I don't know. It's whatever it is. It's called like the Ultimate Edition. I think it's got like a black cover. It's got I think it's got the 3 of them on the front of it.
Because I Pride with Pride, I own the original special box set that Superman came in, or not Superman, Man of Steel.
Man of Steel, right?
Yeah, it's like the aluminum like
Oh, the
little
tin. Yeah.
And it's really beautiful to me, and
Well, you also have the Marvel Phase 1 Tesseract kit, right?
Yeah, the Tesseract briefcase.
And did you get the Phase 2 one as well?
Oh, the orb from
Yeah.
Galaxy? Yeah. Guardians.
Yeah, so there you go. I mean, you want to talk about collectors.
Yeah, I love those things. I mean, it's just decorative, and, they serve a purpose. It's not just like a statue of a thinking guy, on his knee. I mean, I own that too, but it's in my bathroom, and it's great and all, but these things, you can interact with them.
Open them up and then pop in a movie.
Yeah, and have popcorn.
Yeah. So, but the extended edition really tied the movie together. Now, I didn't see the original version, so I don't know. Like everybody's complaints that they had, which I heard a lot about. I didn't see any of them in that film. I thought it was very well done.
Yeah.
So for me,
why did they rush Doomsday? It's like rushing Venom. Yeah, they did do that.
Yeah. Well, actually, no, they didn't rush Venom. They just didn't do Venom the right way. And we were supposed to get Carnage after that, and because that movie bombed so bad, we couldn't get Carnage. Stupid Sony.
Damn it.
Which we'll get into in a couple of minutes, actually.
Stick to making Walkman.
Yeah, seriously. Stop making movies.
Oh, that's terrible.
So my point is that there's no matter what, I'm going to see that movie in theaters. This is the movie that I have been wanting to see since we got an Avengers film.
That reminds me.
I wanted the Justice League film just as bad right after I saw the Avengers film.
Okay.
Yes, there's no Green Lantern. For those of you who don't know, I have a Green Lantern symbol tattooed on my arm. I am that big of a Green Lantern fan.
Yeah, that's right.
So it's really upsetting that my favorite superhero probably had the worst superhero movie ever.
That was bad.
That was a bad movie.
I didn't even see the whole thing. I just saw clips here and there. It's sort of like the first Hulk movie.
You're lucky.
Yeah, I didn't even bother to see the whole thing. I was just like, forget this.
I saw it in theaters.
What, the Green Lantern one, right?
Both.
Both? And the Hulk?
Yeah.
Oh, man. I heard the Hulk really sucked.
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
It's like Shrek on steroids.
Yeah, it was really bad. But no matter what, I've been wanting this movie. I'm dying to go see it. And I can't wait. I'm really happy that they chose to really make Aquaman look like a badass instead of making him the running joke of the DC universe.
Yeah, thank God for him looking like a total like beefcake for all the women, with the tattoos and the eyes and the long hair and the attitude problem. and the beer drinking,
and
and the slightly abusive personality. Women
and
they dig it.
The beard and the body where it looks like he's sculpted out of chisel.
Maybe he doesn't even wear deodorant. Maybe he smells like catfish.
He just smells like fish and sex.
Like like a real seaman would.
Yeah,
real man.
Chicks dig it, man. Apparently this is what if you're single, this is what you're doing wrong.
I love his eyes. Oh my god.
and the smell of fish on him.
It's like an aquarium. It's great.
Oh my god.
Except you don't have to pay the obnoxious amount of money for tickets for the show.
Jason Momoa ever listens to this, he's probably going to come into this studio and just rip our faces off.
Hopefully he's just laughing, have another beer.
I hope so. All right, so, speaking of laughing and having another beer, this segue made no sense until me saying that we're going to talk about the Spider-Man trailer.
Oh, yeah. Whoops.
Whatever. I'm bad with segues sometimes. We had two perfectly good segues, and we just weren't done talking about the topic. So, I got to work on it a little bit better. So, Spider-Man.
Boom.
Initial thought? Second trailer.
If you're listening to this and you have to wait for my opinion on that trailer, and you haven't come up with your own opinion, I mean, come on, it looks amazing. Come on, it just looks so badass. The suit is so awesome. We thought it was cool when we saw in Civil War and the eyes and the whole projection thing on his wrist.
Yeah.
And now you see it just fits on him almost like the jacket from Back to the Future.
Yeah.
It was pretty cool, how just poof, Yeah, I really like that. And what else? Oh, and the little drone on his chest.
Oh, how cool is that?
So cool. I mean, you had to expect it though, because it's a suit from Tony Stark.
It's Stark Tech. I mean,
yeah, God knows the guy doesn't drink anymore. He just sits around tinkering and making things. Which God bless him.
I mean, whatever.
I want to see an Iron Man toaster.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Right?
I have a Darth Vader toaster.
Oh, what is that like?
I haven't used it yet. I'm waiting for it. Me to move into the new.
I want to know what does it burn on there?
Star Wars. It just says Star Wars.
It just says,
yeah,
that's a waste.
No, but it's cool. It's Darth Vader. It pops out of Darth Vader's head.
No way. Oh, so it's the head of Darth Vader.
Yeah,
it should have been the Death Star, not just that font of Star Wars.
I completely agree.
No crap. We know. That's why we bought it.
Fair.
Oh wait. Back on Spider-Man. What are we doing talking about Vader? Sorry, Vader.
Sorry, guys.
Yeah, sorry. Spider-Man's so cool looking. I mean, they got the perfect actor,
Tom Holland is man. Yeah, I mean, he really is.
He's the man, He's definitely younger than us, too.
And he was born to play this character.
True. Man, how many sit-ups did he have to do over there, huh? That was good.
I mean...
Yeah, he's ripped for the part. That's
he
good.
Is. He's in good shape, Yeah. He's got the chops.
Good for him.
Yeah, he's perfect.
Yeah, not to mention that... I like that he's so young and he's going to grow into the character,
Yes.
As the year goes. I mean, look, what was the first guy who played Spider-Man?
Tobey Maguire.
Yeah, he was cool, except the whole part 3 thing, the dance scene, damn it. But yeah, he was really cool.
I'm only kidding.
Worse. But yeah, he was cool, but obviously, you look like you're a little older,
I mean, Tobey Maguire was
could have had a mortgage.
nearing 30.
Yeah.
And
probably had a mortgage.
If he wasn't in his 30s at that point, playing a kid in high school.
Yeah, exactly.
And Andrew Garfield didn't look young either,
No. Yeah, he didn't.
And it was cool that, I think the combination of the two of those characters would have really been good. I think that Tobey Maguire was a great Peter Parker, but not that good of a Spider-Man. And I think Andrew Garfield was a great Spider-Man, but not that good of a Peter Parker.
And then you have the finished product. It's almost like,
Tom Holland's great as both.
This Spider-Man's too cold. Well, this one's too hot. Well, this one is just right. Oh, yeah. Nice and warm.
Right.
Warm to the touch. Ready for action.
That's kind of creepy.
Not like that, my God. Pretty sure he's underage anyway.
Maybe.
And, he's a guy, so.
Well, that's not stopping you.
No, it's stopping me. I mean, do what you want, I'm not here to judge, but no thanks. He's a beefcake nonetheless, but.
Getting back to the seriousness of this topic, nothing that we can ever do, apparently. I think that this is, this trailer shows that Marvel has taken the Sony product that they accidentally sold off to them, got it back in their hands, and said, hey, Sony, you want to know how to do a good Spider-Man movie? This is how you do a good Spider-Man movie. And it looks it thus far. I mean, just from the trailer, it looks like this is it. My biggest gripe is that Sony wants to take their rights back after.
I heard about that.
And
I'm not very pleased.
If you're Sony right now, I understand. Maybe you want to make all the money, but when you screw that character up again, and Marvel just says, you know what? You want to be a jerk. We're just now, instead of asking to play nice, we're going to offer you a large sum of money, and we're going to tell you we're going to buy those characters' rights back from you because you obviously can't make a successful film from him. At this point, I don't understand why Fox, Marvel, and Sony can't all just get together and play nice like Fox and Universal does with the Hulk, with the Hulk franchise, and just says, hey, look, this is the deal. Especially with Fox. Look, you guys.
Wait, Fox owns Hulk as well.
No, well, Fox owns X-Men, and they own Fantastic Four, and they own like Deadpool.
Oh, I see. I got.
So with them, they should just look at Fox and say, look, give us Fantastic Four. We won't touch the X-Men.
Just borrow them.
Yeah, look, just let us do it, and we'll put your name on it, and we'll make it look like you did something good.
Yeah, it'll make you look good.
Right.
Or better,
Yeah, I mean, let's face it. Look, Fox is really good at their viral marketing. They've done a really good job with that when it came to all the X-Men films. They did a really good job with that with Deadpool. To a point, maybe not that much with Fantastic Four. They didn't do anything right with that movie, apparently. I did not see it, and I refused to.
I saw it recently, and I'll just comment real quick. Thing look cool. They all look cool. The whole, I like the diversity of the character change, and I liked everything about it, the plot and all that. You know what you screwed up on? Doom. Oh my God.
They cannot do him right.
He's like a sorcerer, a scientist. Come on. Like, that's the award-winning combination. That's like PB&J.
It doesn't make any sense to me. And now, we have, this is the thing. You have the Marvel Universe who now, all they would have had to do is just say, look, Fox, let's get along. And hey, if you want to do in the X-Men, you want to use Quicksilver and you want to use Scarlet Witch, hey, look, we'll share actors. We'll put some of them in our movie, we'll put some of them in your movie, and it'll be cool. And yeah, there'll be separate timelines. They don't have to be the same thing, but they can be the same guy. Or hey, look, we have Infinity Wars coming up. Hey, can we just borrow Hugh Jackman for a hot minute?
Yeah, you want to cash in on the rights.
Exactly,
Just do it.
And we know that they can work together. Fox wanted to make some changes to a Marvel property with Negasonic Teenage Warrior in Deadpool, and in exchange, they let Marvel and Guardians of the Galaxy use Ego the Living Planet in the second Guardians film.
I feel like it's these companies are like two kids in the schoolyard, and they're like, well, I'll trade you this card for that one.
Yeah. It's instead of playing together.
Yeah, exactly.
Like it's like they want to go home and have their own collections and look at their cards instead of sitting there and just saying, "Hey, look, let's just play this game together."
Yeah, learn to share.
Seriously.
If you're gonna chew bubblegum in my classroom, you better bring some for everyone.
My thing is this: do you want to have a successful franchise that maybe you only net profit $100 million on? Or do you want to have a decently successful franchise that everybody then bashes, and then you screwed up so bad that people don't want to go see your next film, but you make $200 million? I think it's kind of a no-brainer at this point.
I think so.
I mean, again,
I blame the
flying
Illuminati.
off topic. It's always the Illuminati.
Well,
so,
back on Spider-Man, Iron Man's suit. They just took a page right out of the Ultimates, and I love it. I want to know though. Did Tony Stark approve this color scheme? Is he maturing a little bit more now that he's looking to accept to have like a little more metal look rather than that whole red and yellow? How his character has evolved through the movies.
Yeah, I mean, I think so. I think that there was a major eye-opening part is the end of Civil War.
Yeah,
where we see him open up that letter
serious.
From Tony from Captain America.
Yeah. He's probably getting a little more serious. Either that, or maybe he just didn't have enough time to finish painting it because the ferry was sliced in half.
Yeah,
and he was just like, all right.
Great shout out to Staten Island there.
Yeah, that was cool. I remember the day they were filming there. It was pretty cool, Definitely drawing attention and screwing up traffic. But hey, it's worth it, in the end.
Hey, look, Staten Island's become a hotbed over the past couple of years. They
I
filmed a lot of stuff from Gotham. They filmed some of the stuff from the Iron Fist series there.
Yeah, if you live on Staten Island or know of it, you can drive around Bay Street and Edgewater, around Water Street, and there's a lot just absolutely filled with like Gotham-themed police vehicles, newscast fans, it's all fictitious, obviously. It's, they're
But it's
props.
cool to see, yeah.
Yeah, it's so cool.
And the Arkham Asylum sign is still standing in front of the Bailey Seton Hospital too.
Is it?
It is.
I didn't even see that. Wow,
Yeah.
that's cool. I'm going to take a picture with that. I'm going to just, wear my jacket backwards. Look like a loony bin.
So, but I mean, this is the thing, with Spider-Man though. I mean, they got the character right, and Tony Stark there as a mentor really it is evolving his character because instead of seeing him not give a crap about anybody else but himself, that was always the big gripe. Oh, Stark, you're not going to be the one to make the major sacrifice, and he does it in the first Avengers movie, but he's still self-centered after that.
Yeah,
exactly. Now it's more about I did it, haha. You guys didn't think I could. He's matured and he's taking Spider-Man on as his his guy.
Yeah, I mean they have something in common. They don't have parents, so
well.
Oh, damn it! That was real low ball, Tom.
Do you think that he's gonna get a nod with Aunt May?
I hope so. Did I say that low enough?
No, you didn't.
Oh, whoops. But wait, hold up. Can we just talk about Spider-Man's main villain? Come on. Vulture? I always thought he would be so corny, and so far he looks like the most badass Spider-Man villain to date.
And how great is the backstory?
Come on, yeah.
Damage control? I mean, it's so
awesome.
good.
Yeah, really good.
Their writing, man, it's so on point.
I feel like they just sit in a room and order pizza and have beers and they just joke about it, and then they realize that the harder they laugh about the idea, the better it sounds, and they just go with it. Maybe that's how they do it.
Maybe, because I know that there was, NBC released a show which I have not watched. It was called Powerless, and it's about living in a world with all the superheroes, but just being normal people. And
it's more comedic, and I thought it was a good feel for the show because it's got to be kind of comedic. Because can you really add so much suspense and worrying and all that if all these things are going to be just constantly happening? These people are probably going to suffer from PTSD on the daily.
Well, that's the thing, that Marvel actually had the idea of doing a damage control TV show. And that was actually something that DC kind of moved on first, and I think they kind of moved away from that. But this might reinvigorate that because the idea of having Vulture as a guy who's cleaning up after all these messes, and finally he's like, you know what?
I'm going to utilize these gems.
Yeah.
One man's trash.
It's another man's treasure.
Boom. Or, weapon.
I mean, hey, look, you look at it the way you want, but I mean, perfect casting, Michael Keaton.
Yeah, really awesome. I'm just so happy to see him playing like another like superhero themed. Well, I guess he's a villain now.
Yeah,
he was Batman. So.
And then he played Birdman in the other film.
Was that Harvey Birdman like Birdman?
I never saw it, and I really wanted to, and I never got a chance.
I kept thinking of Harvey Birdman.
Harvey Birdman, attorney at law.
Well, no, not that one, but the original.
Oh, you mean Birdman?
There you go. Oh, you do it so well. Harvey Birdman, attorney at law, was good too.
It's so good.
I love that he was a hero and a lawyer.
Yeah.
But you know what? We're talking about his wings. What about Vulture's wings?
Oh my God!
So cool looking. You know?
Yeah.
He looks like it looks like an action figure I remember seeing some time ago.
I feel like it looks like the Transformers action figures. You got like the McDonald's toys, and then like the wings opened up, and they were just like badass looking.
Well, he's a vulture, so he have to be like a Beast War figure.
Fair.
But you know what I noticed? If you look at the turbines, this is something I've noticed nobody's been talking about. He's damage control, right?
Yeah.
He's picking up after all these battles and whatnot. If you look at the I guess, what do they call? Are they turbines? The things
on the wings?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess you could call them turbines,
sure.
Or I don't know what you would call them. But don't they look oddly similar to the same ones used in the Helicarrier and in the jets used for S.H.I.E.L.D.'s operatives? If you remember, not Civil War, Winter Soldier. Remember when Captain America took out that plane?
Yes.
Remember the same turbines? Maybe
Right.
he used the same tech and just minimized it or something.
Well,
like
we
that.
do. The other thing is that what a lot of people are missing from this trailer is that the Tinkerer is in the film too, and
yeah,
this
that's
is where
right.
he's going to get his tech, I guess, maybe made. So I guess it could be that idea where he's picking up pieces of these things, bringing them into the Tinkerer, and being like, "Hey, remember the thing you saw on the news with those turbines, on that jet? What if you put them into my wings?" And you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's possible. I mean, there's a Marvel short. I remember it was like two people and they found a gun after the event in New York.
Oh, the one shots.
The one shots.
Yeah.
Yeah. You remember that? The
Yeah.
guy and the girl, and then they had to get captured by the Shield operative,
Right.
Who actually turned out to be working for Hydra.
Hydra.
Yeah, and then he died by the hands of the Winter Soldier himself.
Yep.
Oh well, poor guy.
Yeah, what are you gonna do?
He's yeah, but I
What
wonder
you
if
give for being a turncoat?
yeah. Oh well, too bad for him. But I wonder if those two people are ever gonna make an appearance, or
It could be. I mean, I know a lot of the one-shot stuff was supposed to, wind up worming its way into there sometimes. But I
Yeah.
think that was their way of taking a shot at stuff. Hey, let's do this off to the side, and if we can make time for it in the next film, we'll put it in there, kind of a deal.
yeah, that'd be pretty interesting because I feel like it's the time now because
This is it. I mean, you got to think that after Infinity War, we're going to see a whole new slew of characters. A lot of people's contracts are expiring. Chris Evans is saying he's not going to play Captain America anymore. We know that Iron Man almost wasn't Tony.
he's become
Robert
Tony.
Downey Jr.
Go ahead.
just became Tony Stark.
Yeah, just call him Tony for now. I
Seriously.
think he's gonna change his name.
He may as well.
Right?
But he was getting tired of the role. They threw him a lot of money to do the last couple of films.
Yeah.
So we're going to see a whole new team. And
I'm sorry, I'm laughing because I just imagine them throwing him money his way, like trying to convince him every time he goes to a restaurant he orders a grilled chicken salad, it's just pieces of chicken on money, loads of money.
no, I feel like they're they're in meetings and they're like, "What do you want, Tony? Do you want an extra $1 million?" And they throw a wad of cash at him. No, one's not enough. Here's 5. They throw another wad of cash at him.
Right? Either that or they just threaten him. It's probably a shady business. Maybe there's a lot going on we don't know about.
There's
Illuminati.
There's a gun to his head and a bag of there's a bag full of $50 million on the other end. Pick the right one, Downey. Pick the right one.
It's not even fun for them anymore. They're just slaves for our entertainment.
Fine.
It's terrible.
I'll be this wisecracking jerk. He's done interviews where he's basically said he's become Tony Stark because he's played him so much. In real life, he's become Tony Stark. His wife complains about it.
Oh yeah, I've seen that interview. It was pretty funny. Oh man. What about this whole Shocker thing?
Hey, that's awesome. That I think it looks like they're gonna make him a really low end, kind of a villain.
I think they're gonna take his villain aspect and just distribute it amongst a couple of popular henchmen that help out the Vulture.
Right.
That's my take on it. From what I've seen.
And even if there's maybe he's the first the first act villain where he's kind of terrorizing some stuff.
Maybe.
And
well, I mean, you never know. The way they're just always very impressive, with what they do. So we can take any guess we want, but at the end of the day, I know I'm gonna be satisfied.
Look, the trailer to me was the perfect bridge between the first trailer and what we're going to see in the final product.
Yeah.
We're not giving a lot away, but Marvel does this really well. They did it with Guardians, where it took them 3 trailers to finally just even see that Ego was going to be in the film. You got to see his face, and they're doing a really good job with Spider-Man, where they're not giving a lot away. They're not giving a lot of the story away, where they're giving us what the heart of the film is.
Yeah.
And
cool looking effects. Of
right.
course.
So, I mean, I guess, that was, your final take on it. I mean, it's the same thing for me. I'm going to see it.
Yeah.
I'm going to see the film, and I think it's going to be awesome. This is going to be another one where Marvel does just a fantastic job on it.
Plus, he's web slinging in the suburban area, so booyah. Everyone always says he's useless outside of the city. He's in the suburbs, all right? So leave Spider-Man alone. He can swing his web all around. Unless, somehow he miraculously, finds a way to the Statue of Liberty. All right, then I'll call bull crap.
Yeah.
Or throw him in the desert, he'll be useless then too. or the Arctic.
He can rope some cactuses up
I
and
don't
smack him in
know.
the face with it.
I don't know if cactus are tall enough for him to swing around though.
I think he can do it.
Oh man, he's gonna need that spider mobile from Old Man Logan, the comic that is.
Yeah. All right, so real quick, let's jump into what you actually got to go do this weekend.
Oh, you mean actually? Yeah, yesterday I was able to see Ghost in the Shell, and I enjoyed it. I always give a 1 to 10 rating. So if you want to guess my number,
7.
what about you guys?
I hear a lot of mixes of 5s, 6s, and 3s.
Well, I gave it a solid 7.5.
Boom! I was close.
Yeah, that was pretty close. You didn't go over, so Price is Right rules. You win on that. Yay! You win something.
I gotta
that you
start
gotta pay
putting sound
taxes on.
effects in these things instead of just
Yeah, it'd be
doing them
nice,
by
like a
myself.
drum roll.
Yeah, apparently I just do all the sound effects myself.
You're like the guy from
and impressions.
what was the name of that?
Police Academy.
Boom! Yeah, that guy.
I'm slowly becoming him, just doing impressions of things.
Sorry, I don't know his name either.
I don't remember.
But he's pretty cool
Yeah.
for what he did.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Let's get into Ghost in the Shell.
Ghost in the Shell was really cool. It was like cinematically, it was feeding everything that my eyes were hungry for.
Scarlett Johansson.
I mean, besides the obvious, like just the whole the futuristic aspect of it, the plot, like just the holograms everywhere, like not for nothing, but if you watch the original anime, you don't see too much of those holograms. You do see them, however, in Akira, that animated movie. You do see a lot of the holograms then. But I guess they incorporated that into Ghost in the Shell.
Well, just like most Marvel and DC films, we take the they take some stuff and they take liberties with it.
Yeah.
If you just do a frame by frame remake of Ghost in the Shell, the animated version, what are you gaining?
Exactly. A lot of people, I heard a lot of complaints of people saying, "Oh, they changed this, they changed that." Listen, okay. You put a diaper on a kid and you never change it, there's going to be a problem, all right?
Yeah.
It's going to be a big problem. It's going to be quite a mess, all right?
Called abuse.
I've never done it before, so I'm not abusive. But if you have, that's a problem, okay? So
You probably had that child taken away from you.
you cut it out, all right?
You stop that right now.
All right? So would you rather them just recreate it exactly the way it was, except in today's technology, and totally eradicate the classic that Ghost in the Shell is? No, you leave certain things to the animated form of it, and then when you make a live action, you use some key points that really stuck out in the animated film, but switch it around a little bit. I never have a problem with the plot of a movie when it came from a book or an animated film, original or something.
Well, the last time you were here, we talked about Logan, how it was different,
Yeah.
but you enjoyed this version of Old Man Logan.
Yeah, like I did enjoy the movie. Sure, I wish the rights and everything were cleaner, so that way cinematically, like for my eyes, I could see like a giant dead Ant-Man
Right.
blocking a highway and the whole interstate area. That would have been so cool to see, because you won't see that in the MCU, because that's like, that's a little like, dark for what they're doing.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you
But
miss your chance with that.
But with Fox, they probably might have,
Maybe.
especially in an R-rated Wolverine movie.
Oh, yeah, exactly, yeah.
So,
I thought you meant in like if Fox had the rights to it, then maybe.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
well, Fox does have the rights to Wolverine. So I mean, if they had the rights to access the Marvel characters, maybe they would have tried to pull something like that.
See, right back to that, Let us, stop just trading cards, Share. Damn. Have you learned nothing from the schoolyard?
Jerks.
I thought you were gonna bite your microphone for a second, like that was intense. Yeah, I got scared.
You should be.
I could feel my right fist like clench. I was like, "Oh my god, this is it." He's
So
gonna finally flip out about all this fan stuff.
Oh no, I'm gonna flip out a little bit later about fans.
You see the
It's
Arnold
all right.
Schwarzenegger vein forming on his forehead, just like share.
I hate these damn fans. They always get in the way. Think they know everything.
But
It's a terrible Arnold Schwarzenegger impression.
probably better than me.
Yeah, what are you gonna
I'm
do?
not gonna try either. But Ghost in the Shell, you know what? There were a lot of key parts. They did change around a little bit, you know. It seems like there's sort of like this whole romantic thing kind of to it. I forget the name of the character because I'm a terrible person. But he works close to Major.
Okay.
He's the dude with the white hair. I always forget his name. I'm the worst. But anyway, they show him before and after his eyes change. You know, because if I remember correctly, an animated film, mind you, I own it, but, you know, it's dusty because I haven't seen it in a while.
Right. I mean, you know, sometimes you don't go back and watch things, you know.
Yeah, don't blame me, all right? At least I own it.
And you've seen it.
Yeah, a couple times, you know. I mean, it's kind of an old movie. You know, you can't watch it every weekend. But anyway, I will watch it again soon, the animated version of it, being, of course, that the live action came out. But yeah, they used a lot of cool things about the anime. Like when she went up against the spider tank, that was really cool, you know?
It's one of these people, right?
Yeah, Albert's actually trying to look up
the name of the characters.
Oh my god, I still have no idea. I have no idea.
It's not any of these people on this list of characters.
No. I mean, if I look at a list of names, it's not going to just pop up in my head. That's how no idea I am in.
Well, I tried.
It was a good attempt, you know?
You know, I wish...
The answers were right in front of me. It's like when you hand over, like, the answer sheet to a test, and you're like, wait a minute, there are no numbers on there, so it's just anything goes, I guess.
Oh, crap.
Damn it. Explain how I got this answer.
Albert passed this note to me.
I would have wrote that
written
too.
On there.
Can I explain work? Was given answers. Please don't fail me.
Sorry.
But great movie. You know, if you've never seen the anime, if you don't like the fact that it was whitewashed, as a lot of people were also saying, you know, we discussed this about Iron Fist also.
I mean, were all the characters in the Ghost in the Shell movie, in the animated movie, were they Asian? 'Cause I saw it a very long time ago, like bits and pieces, not the whole thing.
You know, I guess she was Asian. You know, in the anime. I mean, you know what she looked like? An anime character to me.
So yeah, exactly.
I mean, if you transfer her to like a real life character, she'd look really weird, you know, because her eyes are too big.
You know, the thing is this, you know,
her hair is purple.
that is true.
I think it's purple.
The idea that, you know, of whitewashing, you know, that's been something we talked about before, and I just don't like the idea that we're going to sit here and talk about somebody having an artistic vision, and their artistic vision being, well, that, you know, who can we get to play this character? Here's a short list of people. Man, Scarlett Johansson's on there. I think she'd kill it as an actress for this film. Why would it have to be that maybe we settle for a lesser actress because maybe, you know, we could put an Asian person in there?
Yeah, I mean, you know what? She's kind of proven herself with what's it called? Marvel.
Black Widow?
Black Widow. All the Marvel movies. And no, you know what movie I was thinking about? Lucy. Now, Lucy, she did really good with as well. So, you know, she's on fire right now. She's like, you know, what Tom Cruise was, except she's doing her thing right now. Let her do it.
I don't know. I've never understood the concept of that. You know, I get, you know, we talked about this, and a lot of people didn't like Iron Fist, but I feel like a lot of that was negative stuff that came out before it by them not casting an Asian character as Iron Fist, even though the whole idea is that he's not Asian. He's a white dude who just falls into the, you know, in Kung Lung and has to get trained by these, you know, and
Was it the monks that trained him?
Yeah, it was, and you know, and then he gets all these powers. The idea is that, like, you change the whole backstory by making him Asian, and like you said, you make him a stereotype.
Yeah.
Why does the Asian guy have to be really good at kung fu?
Exactly. I mean, you know, things aren't always just black and white like that. You know, you want a kung fu guy, you expect him to be Asian. All right, well, he's not. Deal with it. Chuck Norris isn't Asian. He kicks ass.
Yeah.
Look at Albert. He has pasta with his family every Sunday because he's Italian. But Italy got noodles from Chinese descendants.
Look, but like on that same category, I had friggin' Mexican food for lunch.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean that I only have to eat pasta because I'm Italian.
Yeah, you take me to a really kick-ass pizzeria, guess what? It's really Mexican food because it's probably a Mexican guy who's tossing that dough in the air in the back.
Pretty true.
You know, it's about the recipe, not the person behind it. All right, grow up.
And here we are. You know, I think, you know, maybe Ghost in the Shell is getting terrible reviews because people now are doing the same thing as they did with Iron Fist. Well, you know, they could have did this and this and this. Well, they didn't. And it wasn't like they hurt people by not casting, specifically Asian people in this cast. They didn't do it just to piss people off.
Yeah,
This is the movie they made. So how about instead of taking all that outside stuff and bringing your judgment into the theater with you, you drop your baggage at the door and you judge it as a movie.
Yeah, exactly what I did. And it was a really good movie. 7.5, good.
So, I mean, there we have it. Is there anything else you wanted to say about it before we kind of,
Well, about the movie?
Yeah, before
it's
we
really
move off of
good.
it?
Spider Tank.
Spider
Tank was really good, man. The way she, all right, spoiler alert. So if you're listening, yeah, I'm going to start 2, 3, 1. All right, for 1 minute, don't listen. All right, so spoilers. The way she ripped open the hatch in the Spider Tank, and you can see the muscles bulging on her back as she just, like, goes beyond her capacity. Sweet. So sweet. And just, of course, the way everything looked when she would take the dive into the lake and just disconnect from the world and was able to go into like a state of a trance so she can relax. It looked really cool. And, when you watch an anime, you really respect the tranquility of the moment. And they successfully did it in the film as well. I enjoyed it very much for that. And, a lot of good characters. And you know what? Most of the people in the movie were Asian. I mean, sure, the main character wasn't, and I'm okay with that, Not because you know what? She just did a good job.
And that's what counts.
Yeah, exactly. I don't even want to draw out a list of reasons. Look, she did a great job. And then, you know what? Not for nothing. If you really look at the film, and it's still, oh, wait, did we go a minute? Oh, yeah, still spoiler alert, so don't listen. For another minute.
Well, look, if you're listening to this, you can just hit the hit the fast forward button, or maybe mute it just for a couple seconds if you don't want to know.
Couple seconds.
Or come back and listen to it when you watch the movie if it really is that big of a deal to you.
Yeah, that's true. Because you know what? Not for nothing. It was a great movie,
and you should go see it.
Yeah,
I should go see it.
Yeah, it was a good movie. All right, you want me to say something that might spoil it for you too?
No, it's fine. Go for it.
Okay.
I'm gonna probably forget everything you say in the next 10 minutes because my memory's shot.
Wonderful goldfish, man.
It's my superpower.
So, in the film, like, what was really cool was just, all right, it's spoiler alert, of course. The scene when she fights a guy in that whole water area when he was when she was invisible. They show this part with the plane flying over this like lonely kind of alley with all these apartments, and it just looked perfect. Like if you ran the frame of the anime side by side with the movie, it would look identical. And it was a really cool part,
See, and that's the thing, you can take those little bits and pieces from the anime, put them into the real live action movie, and it makes it better because you're like, that was exactly the same as it was.
It's like a Easter egg. It's a sign of respect, I think.
Here's a really good example. Last weekend I actually did go to the movies, but I saw Beauty and the Beast. Now, I've seen the original animated.
It was good.
It was really good.
Yeah.
But I've seen the original animated version, and I see the live action version.
By the way, I think I like men now. Now that I saw that movie.
Hey, you know what? we were just talking about your crush on Tom Holland.
Oh
so,
yeah, that's right.
So, but the thing about it is that I went and there were certain parts where I've seen it 100 times because my sister, and there are certain parts where I recognized dialogue that they took from one thing to they took from the original film, but not the whole film was completely the same.
Yeah.
So it was really good to see the nuances and the differences they put into the live action film.
Yeah, definitely.
But it was always really cool. Every time I got like a little flashback, it was like, oh, that's exactly what they said in that movie. I'd sit there and I'd nudge my wife and be like, it's the same thing.
You remember that?
So it was cool. Like it's cool when you go and you see these things where it was a frame by frame replication, because you can go and sit next to the person who maybe is a really big Ghost in the Shell animated fan and nudge them on the arm and be like, dude, it was the exact same thing.
Yeah, you remember that?
Yeah, exactly.
It's sort of like that movie Kong. They didn't take him to New York and have him chained up at a show, but you know what? In the heat of battle, he did manage to get tangled in chains, and thus he was chained up. It was a sign of respect to the original script, and I like how they implicated that into the new movie, into the new storyline. And if you didn't catch that, well, now you know all about it.
Boom.
Yeah, boom, yummy.
Knowledge dropped. Yummy.
Yeah, and just watch the movie. It was a really good movie, and you'll really enjoy it.
And really quick, one last thing I want to bring up. It's something that we want to, we might bring up in a little bit is we might do a podcast, on here about animes. And I'm a big Cowboy Bebop fan. And I remember that, Keanu Reeves was trying to get a Cowboy Bebop live action movie made. And the idea was to not base it on anything to do with Vicious or, all of his henchmen. It was to do it around the first episode with Asimov and the Bloody Eye. Mm-hmm. And that's one episode of Cowboy Bebop that they were going to base the entire movie on. And I remember talking to you about it because you were the one who introduced me to Cowboy Bebop. And we both thought, man, that's such a great idea.
I thought it was a great idea.
And that's the thing, that when you're going to get a full length film, you weren't going to get the a frame by frame remake of the Cowboy Bebop film with Vincent and Halloween and all that kind of stuff that I don't want that. I would have much rather see them take a different approach, a different story. The way Marvel does theirs where it's based on this comic, but they implemented things from this comic and they paid homage to this comic.
Yeah, and if they did it that way, they could definitely pull off like having like a nice solid rack of 6 movies or something because it's 6 seasons, right? Or sessions, rather. I'm sorry.
Cowboy Bebop?
Yeah.
I believe so. I think it was a standard 24-episode anime, right?
Yeah, but it was broken. The way the DVDs were broken up. Anyway, it doesn't matter.
Well, it was 3 DVDs on the special edition. Well, no, you had the original box set where I think it was like 6 episodes per
disc or something like that. I think not 6 episodes. Something like that. But I'm trying to think how many discs there were.
There was 5, wasn't there?
I think there was 5. There's one with Spike, Faye, Jet, and then I'm and
Ed.
And Ed on it.
Shared one. They shared one, right?
Shared one. And then wasn't there a 5th CD?
Maybe it was
with a picture of Vicious and
Julia.
Julia, maybe even Spike as well, like as the last one. Anyway, all right. Because of lack of knowledge at the moment, I'm drawing a blank, even though I own the Blu-ray and the original.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna go with. That's 5 sessions right there. They can cram in all the ideas from those sessions into one film, and right there you have a 5-film trilogy just sitting on your lap.
Even if you want to implement the actual movie in there, maybe 6.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Boom.
Yummy.
Yeah. And then I think that would be a great idea. And I think I wasn't okay with Keanu Reeves doing that at first, but then he came back with John Wick. And I've heard it's really, really well done. I haven't watched it yet. Shame on me. I'm gonna slap my hand.
We heard that.
and you know what? That's what Spike's all about. Spike he's just very talented. He's a great character. I'm not gonna ruin it or get too much into it because if you don't know about his character, you should really watch it for yourself.
Do yourselves a favor if you're listening to this podcast and you've never seen Cowboy Bebop.
Yeah.
Watch Cowboy Bebop.
It's a great show,
I was never an anime fan until I watched Cowboy Bebop. I don't know if I consider myself that much of an anime fan, but I love Cowboy Bebop.
It's great stuff, And he's really good with his guns. He's very trigger happy. And his opposite star, his twin star rather, is Vicious. And Vicious, as you know, is very, very fond of the sword. I think it's a rapier. His sword, which is like a thinner sword, almost like Sephiroth from Final Fantasy VII. I believe it's a rapier. I'm only saying that because I know the name of that one particular sword, and then maybe a butterfly knife. So if you think I sound real cool, then mission accomplished. But I blew up my own spot just now, so
there's
whatever.
The katana.
Oh yeah, katana or a knife cleaver.
See, there we go. You know more than you lead
Good
on.
Good for mutton chops.
Which all is just a flavor.
Yeah, it's just a really it's a manlier way of saying sheep.
Yeah.
You don't want to say I'd like the sheep.
I want mutton.
I want the pure white little horse thing, the sheep. I want to eat it. You just sound like a savage. But if you say, yeah, I'd like to have the mutton chops. You just sound like he's a He likes his meat. Yeah, he likes his mutton chops.
Yeah,
his mutton chops, no big deal.
He's a mutton chops guy.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, go see Ghost in the Shell. Watch Cowboy Bebop. Watch the original animated Ghost in the Shell too.
Check it out.
Take a look at maybe.
Is it on Hulu?
I don't know, but maybe
Cowboy Bebop is.
So there you go. There's a way to see it. Maybe take a look at the original series. The movie that just came out, and then watch the animated version. See it in a way that maybe other fans haven't seen it, and then you can give your opinion on that, because now you're not seeing the source material first. And sometimes it's really good. I read Civil War before I saw Civil War, but it didn't change the fact that I think Civil War was one of the greatest Marvel movies ever made, even though it had basically nothing to do with Civil War, the comics.
Yeah.
So, sometimes you need to take yourself out of it too much. Sometimes I think you're in your heads too much. But, to kind of put a pin on this episode, because we've gone over an hour. Again, we cannot have a conversation. It doesn't go long.
No, it's like we sidetrack.
There's way too many sidetracks.
Mutton chops and other things.
Other Marvel things and whitewashing and all that other fun stuff.
And Five Guys. Sorry, I really wanted that burger.
We passed the Five Guys, and Tom's really mad that we didn't stop there, apparently.
I'm just really mad they're called Five Guys and they're so delicious, because now I find myself always saying, I want Five Guys in my mouth right now.
Yeah. He's not for nothing. He's always craving Five Guys.
Damn it! Delicious.
So to put a little wrap up on this, usually what we do is we give you a comic of the week, but we're gonna have a really short discussion on the idea of some of our favorite comics that aren't the normal comics.
The path of Marvel or DC.
Right.
Very very popular paths. It's like a highway. Like you have traffic going one way, you have traffic going the other way, and that's all But you should really tap into different area of comics.
Drop off an exit every once in a while, and instead of going, staying on that highway, maybe taking some of the local scenery.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
God damn, that was good.
Yeah,
I built it right off the top of my head.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I took yours and just ran with it.
Boom. Yeah, I didn't even know what I was talking about. I was just improvising.
And it worked.
Well, by the way, Ghost in the Shell is on Hulu.
So there you go.
Yeah, since March 17th.
So take a look at,
Get a membership.
Yeah, and then maybe take a look at that afterwards.
Maybe you want to be cool like us.
Be cool like us.
Watch Ghost in the Shell.
Yeah, be cool.
And Cowboy Bebop.
Watch Cowboy Bebop.
But yeah. Do it. Yeah, do it.
Do it.
This is why we always go over an hour.
Yeah. So anyway, I'll start off. Personally, I'm a huge Star Wars fan. We all know that. We talked. One of my first episodes I did on this podcast was reviewing Rogue One, which is coming out on DVD tomorrow, and I am so excited. I'm near tears because I get to see it for a third time, because I went and saw the movie twice in the theaters, which is something I never do anymore.
Yeah. Oh man, good movies. Great comics. I've seen the art. Art's very important to me in comics.
I agree.
Yeah, that's why I couldn't get into classic comics, because the art is not that great. Great storyline. That is the OG of all these origin. It's the origin of everything I'm enjoying now. But I didn't care for the art, so I don't own any of it.
I own a very large collection of the original Green Lantern comics, and you know what? I got through a lot of it. And sometimes it was hard to get through
because of the art.
Because of the art, and also because of the older language.
Yeah,
So I get
a lot of the slang was a little, weak.
It was a little different, and
but hey, that's
the way it was, In 50 years, maybe people are going to sit there and look at somebody being like, "Oh man, that's tight," and they'll be like what?
Like tight like shorts?
Yeah, like around your waist,
like pantyhose.
Yeah, I'm really confused. So I mean that's the thing.
People in 2017 were so weird.
Oh my God, I can't believe you were alive during that, Mom and Dad.
But different comic books of different just off the usual path is great. I own a couple of Godzilla comic books, Rulers of Earth? Really good storyline. I own Transformer comic books.
Awesome.
Yeah, way more mature than the shows, and not too much human aspect like the live action movies right now.
Ugh.
Yeah, I mean, they're great. They're getting better to me action wise. The story is a little.
I haven't watched one, I think, since the third one. I think it put such a bad taste in my mouth that I couldn't even do it anymore.
I still put myself through the torture because it's just very appealing to the eye to see my favorite robots just, kick each other's butt on screen.
And that's something
it's a little
that
corny sometimes.
It is, but it's something that speaks to you because you're a big fan of like the big mech kind of things.
Yeah,
even
I love
in
those
animes.
things. Yeah, like Big O and Gundam.
Right. Big O is actually one of the ones that I watched.
Rim.
Right. It was, we saw Pacific Rim the first one. We saw it together, and I thought I'm not a huge big fan of that kind of stuff, but sometimes it's really good. And
Giant robots.
I mean, but Big O is one of the ones that I really enjoyed, and I really like the Pacific Rim movie. They're going to do another one with John Boyega, which is really cool.
Yeah, that was a really good
Star
movie.
Wars throwback. Getting back to on topic. But it's appealing to you. But I mean, the comics. From what you've told me, they're excellent.
Yeah, they're really good. Transformer comics are really they're more detailed. It's not so white and black. It's not just like, hey, you're an Autobot, you're good, and you're a Decepticon, you're bad. No, it's not like that. It's more realistic. And being that they always talk about the Cybertronian War, I feel like they pay a lot of tribute to our veterans because they do talk about from time to time with our soldiers, our fellow Autobots having PTSD. And they also have elections. And, it's not just black and white, like I said before. It's not just Autobots and Decepticons. You can rock an Autobot symbol, but your true belief is of that of a Decepticon in the comic books. Hell, they even crash landed on this planet and encountered an Autobot, and he was the doctor. And the guy went insane because, there's an infection going around, a virus. Not infection because they're robots.
Right.
There's a virus going around. He became like a serial killer, and they had to take him out. And, he wore an Autobot symbol, but he was insane. Like, you wouldn't want to go near him. He was like, he was like a mad dog with rabies.
Right.
Robot rabies.
And look, we all love dogs, but sometimes a feral dog is going to bite your face off and you got to defend yourself.
Swift kick to the face.
Oh,
poor dog. Aww. I know. He should do more like vicious cry when you hit him. Right? yeah. That makes me feel better about kicking that.
Well,
dog.
all of our sound effects are spot on.
Are they? I feel like we're gonna listen to this podcast and just shake our heads.
Absolutely, I find myself doing that all the time, but I think it's funny. But that's the thing. Also, a lot of we were talking about source material. We grew up watching the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles as being like these four really cool guys who know karate, but the comics were a lot more vicious.
Oh man,
they were really vicious, and I own.
Spoiler alert!
Yeah, seriously. I mean, I've read some of the original comics, and they are badass.
Yeah,
Raphael's like a serial killer.
Oh my god, yeah, and how he spoiler alert, how he becomes Shredder.
Yeah,
in the comic, I heard about that. I've never actually read it through, but he apparently got injured, and it like some sort of technodrone bot fried half his face. And he was kind of when, I wouldn't know personally, but I would imagine there are plenty of people out there that have suffered a life-changing scar, usually in the face. And it kind of it changes your mental state, a bit because,
right.
You're not used to seeing yourself like that in the mirror. So I guess when it happens so badly to Raph in the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles comic, man, he just kind of went off the deep end, enough to become the new Shredder.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. These comics were really cool. So it gives you a different outlook on stuff. You talked about Godzilla and Transformers.
Oh,
these are different takes, and Ninja Turtles are different takes on these series that we grew up watching. Stuff like Star Wars, you see the some of the behind the scenes stuff that you don't see in some of the major films and some of the animated series. So it's really cool to fill in some plot holes that we may be missing. The way that we found out that in the Force Awakens saga, and I won't go into it because I don't want to spoil it for anybody, because if you don't know, I'll tell you now. We see R2-D2, C-3PO walk out with a red arm, and everybody's like, why does he have a red arm? Well, that gets answered in the comics that correspond with the film.
And I have to read that comic because I want to know why as well. I figured maybe an injury or something, but it's good to actually know.
Right.
It's the same thing with Clone Wars. Remember the animated Clone Wars?
Yeah.
You saw a lot of General Grievous on there, And then you see him in the movie once, right?
Well, no,
he was in the one movie.
He was, but I mean, he had a decent role in the film.
Oh yeah, it was a great role.
What was really cool was
that more of him.
You sat there and you watched through that film and you heard him, coughing all the time. It's like, oh, why does he have a cough? And they rectify that in the animated series where Mace Windu crushes his chest.
Exactly.
And it's you just hear him go, and it's like, oh, well, there we go. There's the reason why.
It's just other sources. It's just other forms of sources entertaining the thing that you're a fan of. And for some reason, people stop at comic books. Look, don't be shy. Go into a comic book store, your local comic book store. Don't just run on Amazon. Feel the atmosphere, the knowledge of the employees. I love Comic Book Jones on Staten Island.
Yeah, that's great. Where I go to get most of my stuff too.
They're awesome, and you earn points as you buy, and they're very knowledgeable depending on who's working that day. Actually, I think today is today Monday. Yeah, today I believe Waffle, this guy that works at Comic Book Jones, I believe today is his last day. I wish I could have went there.
That sucks. Man.
Yeah. I want to say goodbye and whatnot, but I'm sure I'll see him again once he he gets back on his Facebook. He took it down for a while. And we all need our breaks.
Yeah, and you know what? It's not like he's never going to stop in the store ever again.
Yeah, I know, right? Unless he doesn't.
That's weird.
Or that would suck. But yeah, go into a comic book shop. It's great. The whole atmosphere it puts you into the setting, and just pick up a book of your favorite character, anyone it could be.
Or not even your favorite character, man.
Or anyone, yeah.
Go in there and look at some stuff and say, you know what? I don't know anything about Ghost Rider.
Yeah,
guy who works at the comic book store. I want to get into Ghost Rider.
Tell me about him.
What's the first one I can do? Here's a perfect example. My wife, has been starting to try to get into comics a little bit because I've been telling her that if you really like the idea of seeing these films and you like certain characters and you want to know how they start out, you should read the comics.
Yeah.
So we went to Comic Book Jones right after Suicide Squad got released, and she went up to the guy at the counter and said, I want to know more about Harley Quinn. So he walked over, grabbed a book, and said, this is what you're going to need to know.
Yeah.
And that's it. And now she's reading her first comic book.
She didn't just dress up as Harley Quinn on Halloween and was like, I'm cool.
Right.
She actually knows.
She's going to go and she's going to look at the source material.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. It's cool. If you want to know more about a character, look, I'll be completely honest. I started watching Arrow, and I didn't really know a lot about the Green Arrow. So I went to to give a plug to another Staten Island comic book store, Jim Hanley's Universe.
Yeah, they're great too.
I went there and I said, hey, guy that works at Jim Hanley's, I want to get into Green Arrow.
Or Danny. Danny's always cool to ask.
Yeah, well.
She's the best.
But this was years ago before.
Oh, yeah.
And, I was like, look, I want to get into Green Arrow. What should I read? And they go up and they'll help you. So, look, what we're getting at here is that it's not all DC. It's not all Marvel. We have our favorite characters. We have some of our characters who we want to know more about. Support your local comic book shops. Go in,
it's worth
walk in, and say, look, I want to know more about this character. Where do I start? Or I know so much about this character. Give me something that's going to surprise me.
Yeah, and they have comic books for practically everything. You can even walk in there for yourself. And if you got kids, you can buy them a small issue for maybe $2.99. I've seen so many different things that they have, like Adventure Time or even Sonic.
Yeah.
Or any of that, like Flintstones, Archie comics. So many
comics
different
are good
things.
for all ages, man. And if you want to walk, just do yourself a favor. Find your local comic book shop. Find all your local comic book shops. Find out where they all are and find your favorite one. Don't just sit here and go by, there's also Hypnotronic Comics on Staten Island on Bay Street. Those are pretty much, I think, the three major ones that are on Staten Island. So instead of leaving anybody out, let's plug all of them.
Yeah. Check out your local comic book shop.
Go to a comic book store.
They're great.
And find your favorite one and frequent that store. Read a book. Come back. Hey, look, and here's what look. Tom said to stay away from Amazon. I don't completely agree.
Oh yeah, not completely.
Go on Amazon and make a list.
Oh yeah,
and then walk into your local comic book shop and say, "This is the next comic I want." And I guarantee you that if they can't produce that right away, they can order it for you. Mm-hmm. Support your local comic book stores because that's what I do. On my phone, I have a $400 list that just contains comics.
Yep.
Nothing else. And I walk into a comic book store and I buy a comic that I want and I go on my Amazon app and I hit delete. And some of them, some of them are out of issues. Some of them are hard to find. And if they can't get it for you, Amazon's a good way to get, some of the issues.
Yeah, check out
Amazon.
Want. I mean, definitely don't just forget about Amazon,
But support your local comic book shop.
Yeah, give them support first, please.
If you get it there, if you can get it there, get it there.
Yeah.
Wait the 3 days for them to order it for you if you can, instead of waiting the 2 days that it's going to take for Amazon to ship to you.
Yeah.
Support your local comic book stores. Read comics. Get into it. It's fun, man.
That's great.
I have a stack sitting next to my bed that I'm just waiting to read. And it's great because I know that when I go home, before I go to bed, I can flick on my light and I can read a little bit of my comics until I get tired, throw a little bookmark in it and save it for the next night. And every night before I go to bed, I can read a little bit more of a story.
Yeah, shout out to my youngest brother, Josian Melendez, or a lot of people call him Josine. Cool guy. He's a pretty cool guy. Yeah, he's a veteran, United States Coast Guard. He's about to graduate Vassar College in the next 2 months or so.
Yeah,
he's awesome. He's a kick-ass dude, and he's not, he likes Marvel and DC, but if you asked him, who certain characters were in, he'd probably be like, "Wait, Silver Surfer is Marvel or DC?" He appreciates it, and he doesn't really read comics or really owns them. However, he took the time. He walked into Comic Book Jones. He looked around and he found a couple books that he really enjoyed. He picked up a comic book, and again, this is tapping back to the fact that you don't always have to go Marvel or DC. He picked up a book, and it's called Foobarb. Foobarb, I believe. Yeah, Foobarb. I'm pretty sure. Anyway, it's about zombies. It's a black and white little comic book, and it's about zombies throughout time. So it was, I believe the issue he picked up was zombies during World War II and how they had to deal with the war and then the interactions with zombies as well. And I believe there's another one he picked up and it had to do with the American Revolution and the zombies in that era as well. So, if you're, and hey, come on, Walking Dead, that's a comic book that was really popular. Wasn't Marvel, wasn't DC. Got its own show. Everyone loves it. You're practically on your hands and knees begging for it. Yeah. So started out as a comic book.
So read the comics.
Yeah, check them out.
And look, and not everything. Look, George Takei, who is the known best for being in Star Trek, is gonna have, I think, his life story made as a comic, and that's a really cool idea. And there's a lot of stuff that's made in comic form that has nothing to do with superheroes. So, I mean, with that being said, what we really should do is support our local comic book shops.
Support them.
So, you have anything else before we give this a little, give this a little wrap up sign?
Yeah. Let's not forget about Thor Ragnarok.
Hey, that's actually a big thing.
Heard there's going to be a trailer dropping pretty soon.
It could be tomorrow night during Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. And if it is, this is one of those things where I'm telling you right now, everybody's been concentrating on Spiderman and Justice League and all that kind of stuff. But honestly, from what I've heard, the combination of Ragnarok, Planet Hulk, the special guest appearances that are going to be in this, Grandmaster being the villain, this is, gonna wind up being one of the best comic book movies of the year. And I really, really can't wait for Ragnarok.
Yeah, that movie is going to be really cool because, Thor just, I don't know what happened to him, but I've seen the pictures. He looks like he's got a scar on the side of his head.
He's got short hair.
Yeah, his hair is short. So you got to think, he was bested and they chopped all his hair off and left him with a nasty scar on the side of his head.
Be so cool if it was Better Ray Bill.
Oh, man. I hope. Oh, God. You just woo. Yeah, I'm a Better Ray Bill fan. And in case you guys don't know, it's the guy who looks like he's dressed as Thor, except he's got a horse's face.
It's Thor. It's Horsehead Thor.
Yeah, he's a Corbinite, actually.
Yes.
I knew that.
Of course you did. Well,
high five.
The idea with Better Ray Bill, though, is just, I know that I would get you so excited if I just mentioned his name. So
plus, his hammer is just so cool looking, and it's got a cooler name. How do you say Thor's hammer's name?
Mjolnir.
Mitosis?
It's so funny. Mjolnir? I've seen the movies 100 times, and I still can never pronounce it. Because I still look at it in my head, and it looks like Mjolnir.
Mama. That's what I feel like when I try to say the name of his hammer. I'm so oh God, I can't do it. Mama. But you know what Better Ray Bill's hammer is called? Stormbreaker.
Bam.
Woo. Now, how awesome
right
does
in the
that sound?
kisser.
Right? If I had a car named Stormbreaker, I would run Grease Lightning right off the road. kill John Travolta and the whole cast.
I love Grease.
No, that's a great movie. I'm just using the reference of their cool sounding car. But Stormbreaker sounds so cool.
Yeah.
Better than Grease Lightning. No offense.
No, that's fair. Stormbreaker's a lot better of a name.
Yeah, and it's such a cool looking hammer.
It is.
Oh, man. You know Marvel's going to eventually go into the Annihilators, right?
And it's going to be amazing.
Oh, man. Like a space Avengers. If you guys don't know about that, go into your comic book shops.
Look up the Annihilators.
Yeah. We don't have to whisper it to you. You already know what to do.
You should just do it.
Submit.
Submit and surrender. All right. So with that being said, we're gonna. That's gonna be it. Tom, thank you again for being on here.
Sure, man. I enjoy sitting here in front of the microphone, especially like looking at my Snapchat.
Tom, during this, the whole thing has been looking at his Snapchat filters and filming himself.
And you.
And me,
look
apparently.
How cool you look.
Oh, look. So, again, thank you, and thank you guys for listening, putting up with us for an hour and a half of of really cool discussions that we had. For Tom Melendez, I'm Albert Albanese. Again, on social media, Facebook.com/The Slam Sessions Podcast Network. Twitter, it's at The Slam Sessions. Follow us, like us, interact with us. Tell us if you like these episodes. Go on the Facebook, go on the Twitter. Tell us what you like.
Show some love. Why not?
And then tell us what you want. Maybe you want to hear. Look, me and Tom have a couple of really cool ideas. Talking about video games, some anime. If you want to hear us talk about some other crap, tell us about it.
Yeah, why not? Also, you could check me out on Snapchat. I'm Mr. Thermite.
Check Tom out on Snapchat at Mr. Thermite.
Yeah. Do
it.
I'm hot. Mr. Thermite. Check it out.
He thinks he's hot.
If you can't spell it, just Google it.
You'll find him. So that's going to be it for us today. For Tom Melendez, I'm Albert Albanese. Follow us on social media, and we will see you
Thanks for having me.
time.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Thanks, man.
Anytime.
Can we get like Five Guys now?
I have some other stuff to do first. I'd like to edit this, but then we can get Five Guys after that. Thanks for listening to the Geek Guy Podcast, right here on the Slam Sessions Podcast Network. You can follow us on Twitter at The Slam Sessions. We'll see you guys next time, and may the force be with you.